Welcome to the You Can't Afford Me podcast, where we skip the fluff and dive straight into the grind. Real entrepreneurs, real struggles, and the unfiltered journey behind success. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of the You Can't Afford Me podcast. So this young lady, I think I met at a networking event we were hosting here at our office. I caught wind of what she was putting down on social media. We started chatting a little bit and we're like, we need to sit down and have a conversation. I'm enamored by her hustle, her grit, and what she's putting together with her business. So today we have Kiersta on the podcast. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. So if you can give everybody a quick rundown of who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. I'm Kiersta Ray. I'm the founder of Artistry by K, Luxury Beauty Artistry. And I have grown up in the industry with hair and makeup. It started when I was really young, 5 years old, with pageants in the South, where my mom threw me in every pageant in the state or surrounding states.
We will talk about that.
Absolutely. And so I have taken that love and passion for beauty and just that creative artistry, and I've turned it into the legacy that we have now, which is Artistry by K. So I've done everything from music videos to commercials, production. I specialize in bridal and a lot of special events.
Nice. Awesome. So you may be the first person I have on the podcast that started their career at the age of 5. So kind of talk to us about that. So you said in the South, like what part of the South did you grow up in?
In North Carolina.
Okay.
North Carolina, yep. Right outside of Charlotte, down in Weddington, North Carolina.
Okay, yeah.
Which is right there close to the border of South Carolina. So I would even go down to some of the little counties down there. Junior Miss Watermelon Queen of Pageland, South Carolina right here.
Is that something you jumped right into, or your mom was more forcing you? Like it was something natural for you?
Well, it was definitely natural for me. I had a lot of fun. I loved just being on stage. I loved playing dress up. I loved doing my hair, doing my makeup, except having my hair teased because no child likes that. But that's where we have the saying, it's painful to be beautiful.
There you go.
So, and if you know it, you know it.
And when did that switch go off that said, I think I could do some aspect of this as a career?
In 2018 was when I launched Artistry by K.
Okay.
And I had been doing it for years for like friends and family, for their weddings, their events, stuff like that. But even growing up, girlfriends would come stay the night and, we're not really playing Barbies. I'm like, here, let me do your makeup and let me do your hair. So I'm doing, beauty makeovers all throughout elementary school and middle school.
Everybody wants to sleep at your house.
Yeah, right. Like we had so much fun. We're playing dress up. We're putting all the pageant clothes on and stuff. So it's literally something that I have truly loved, but I never knew that it was something that I could make into a career.
Yeah.
Not until in 2018. I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to do that leap of faith, take that step for me and my kids.
So let's build up to that. Let's rewind back.
Yeah.
So after high school, did you go to college? Did you go straight into the working force? What did that look like?
I was straight into the workforce. I actually didn't even graduate high school right off the bat. So I had moved back down to Charlotte from Chester, Virginia, in the middle of my senior year. And, of course, down in Charlotte, I guess the curriculum is different. So they were like, well, even though you're a senior, to make up the credits that you'll need here, you'll have to go to high school a whole nother year.
Jeez.
I was like, nope. So I immediately went into the workforce. I'm coaching gymnastics and cheer locally. And the rest was history. Actually, when I wanted to enlist in the Army is when I went back into the adult education program and got my high school diploma.
Wait, so did you go into the Army?
I did.
So when was this?
Oh, gosh, that was back in 2008.
So that was immediately after high school?
No, that was a couple years after high school.
So what did you do in between that time?
Just worked.
Just odd jobs, or it was in the beauty space, or?
I went to school that was after the military, but for osteology at the Aveda Institute of Charlotte. And, just in between high school and the military, I just worked.
What was that catalyst that made you say, I want to go serve my country. And the fact that you describe yourself as such a girly girl, I'm like, wait, you were in the military? Like,
yeah.
So what was that
surprisingly
decision
so.
there?
So, okay, I'm trying to figure out the right words for this one. So I was raised very, very soft, very girly, very opposite of who I am to my core. You know, like I did not know how to change a tire. I did not know how to do anything for myself, really. Like it was just I had to be dependent on everybody else. And I don't know if that was like with the silver spoon in my mouth because, financially that wasn't the case, but it was just raised very delicate. So for me, I was at a hard spot in my life, which we don't have to dive into now, but I was like, I really need to toughen up. I need to figure some stuff out, and I need to become more self-reliant. I need to really just kind of do something bigger than me, like a purpose bigger than me. And so that's when I enlisted in the Army.
So what was that experience like?
Oh,
bittersweet. Let's say this. What were your big 3 takeaways from serving in the military?
I absolutely loved the people that I had met, like all of my battles, everybody that I learned has such a different walk of life than me. That really opened my eyes, like culturally, to so many different people, and just learning their stories. I absolutely loved it. I learned a lot about myself, that there really is like true grit in embracing the suck, is what my drill sergeant always said. And that is a statement that I carry true now. And I've even taught my own kids, embrace the suck, because when life gets hard, you just put your head down, keep your chin down, and you tough through it, and you can get through it. And yeah, physically I, was killing it back then. So that was something that definitely instilled in me. It was that physical discipline.
And what age did you go into the military?
I actually had my 21st birthday in basic training.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So you get out of the military. What happens now?
I didn't know what to do. I had
like most people in their early 20s.
Yeah, I could totally dive into that whole transition from military to civilian and how difficult that can be, and all the changes that go with it. But that is a whole nother episode, by all means. It's a great transition, and you learn a lot about yourself too in those moments. But the mindset definitely. It takes time to figure those things out. But yeah, in that transition, I moved back to Charlotte, and that was where, I'm bartending, waiting tables, like just trying to figure things out and earning money while I could.
Which I think that's a job everybody should have at some point in their life.
Oh, absolutely.
I think seeing how much it sucks to be on the wait staff, like at restaurants and stuff like that, you learn a lot. And like just being on your feet for 10 straight hours and running around. I was the world's worst waiter ever.
Really?
I was so bad. Because like number one, like I was working at some Italian restaurant when I was in college. And number one, I took Spanish all throughout school. And then all of a sudden they're like, you need to learn this whole wine list and stuff like that. And of course everything's in Italian. I'm like, I don't know the first thing about Italian. I took Spanish this whole time.
Fancy once you learn it, though. You're like,
I didn't learn it. I didn't learn it. So I scored, and it was like right at the time of like final exams or something for college too. And they wanted, it was me and one other guy. I remember this. Like he was in a fraternity too. I was in a frat, and I was like, bro, I ain't got time for this. Like we ain't study for this. I scored like a 25 on the test or something like that, and they downgraded me to a hostess. Which for somebody like me was the absolute best thing, because all I got to do, I got to see people, talk to people, have chats, all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the shift, because you're dead broke in college, I got a free meal at the end of each shift, and I got tip share from everybody. I was like, this is way better than being a waiter. But yeah, I sucked. That was horrible. I couldn't remember. You tell me your drink, I would come back 2 seconds. What did you tell me you needed?
What was that you just said?
Yeah, I sucked.
Well, I can remember everybody by what they're drinking, or like something about them, like they're eating or something.
You're like Long Island iced tea
versus their name. Don't ask me to remember somebody's name at all.
So what alcoholic beverage would I be if you just met me today?
Okay, I would say you are probably. Oh man.
I've never asked someone that question before.
That's a good question. Okay, I would say you're like a nice whiskey.
I can get with that. On the rocks?
On the rocks.
Okay. Yeah, I can go with that. Straight liquor, no chaser. I'm with that. All right, so you're waiting tables. You're trying to figure it out. What was the next switch for you?
Yeah, I went to beauty school. I went to school to become an esthetician.
So what was it that said, like, okay, like I'm done. Like, this has always been a passion of mine. I'm ready to move forward in this.
It wasn't really like I'm ready to move forward. It was a, hey, let me dip my toe in the water and see if it's something that I like. And of course, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But if you know me, you know that I'm late to everything all the time. Have we learned this by now? And Charlotte traffic is no joke. So, they have a very strict no late policy. Third time and you're out.
Yeah.
And, we're down on the floor, like we're seeing clients and stuff at this point. And I was 3 minutes late. And so I never finished the program.
True.
Yes. So, like, it's so crazy because literally the matter of, 2 minutes can be a 45-minute difference in getting where you need to go.
Jeez.
So.
Yeah. So I'll never be moving there.
Yeah, no, this is why I live in the country now. Like, there's solitude, there's peace, there's quiet, there's Backroads, there's not city traffic. You cannot pay me enough to live in the city anymore.
I'm a city boy. I love the city.
I love the city, but to visit, not to live.
See, and I couldn't live in the country because, I like action around me. Like, when me and my wife bought our last house, one of her first questions to the realtor was, how close is Chick-fil-A and Target? And she's like, if it's past 15, 20 minutes, we're not living here. Like, I need those in our backyard. So you don't complete the class, then what happens?
Yeah, I don't. And I'm devastated, right? So I'm like, well, sugar, honey, iced tea.
Yeah.
Like, now what? Now what do I do? So I'm back to bartending and waiting tables and just trying to figure life out.
So when did the switch come back on and say, this ain't it? I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing this.
So I tapped into the corporate world for a while, and I'm doing corporate accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, HR, you name it, all the behind the scenes involved in the office setting, and getting a lot of really great experience under my belt when it comes to something like that. I'm managing $50 million a month for some corporate accounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not for me. The corporate world was never for me, especially when I became a mom.
Yeah.
It is not forgiving when you're a single mom and you have sick kids. And one gets sick and then the next gets sick. And next thing you know, you're missing a week and a half of work. And they're like, nope, that doesn't cut it for us. You're gone. I have learned so quickly that you are replaceable in every setting except for at home. And for me, that's what comes first. That's most important.
So when you were in corporate America, how long into corporate America till you had your first child?
I was a couple years in.
And what was that, obviously, in terms of kids getting sick and the corporate model, what was that moment for you where it was I'm not sure, it sounded like at some point momhood may have been tugging at you a little bit more than the corporate life.
Oh, absolutely. And I think as a mom, as a mother, we naturally carry this guilt anyway. When we have to be away from our kids, when we have to go to work. Once you hit that, it varies per business, but that 9 weeks or 12 weeks and you have to leave your baby in the hands of somebody that is not going to love them and take care of them the way that you are. It is distressing. It is absolutely heartbreaking. And now you'll see a lot of women trying to find ways to work from home. They're trying to find remote positions. They're trying to figure out ways where they can still be the one to take care of their baby and they don't have to leave.
Yeah.
And for me, that when I had my daughter, she's 14 now, and my son is 11, that didn't exist really. There wasn't really any kind of remote jobs. There's MLMs, there's all the network marketing. Hey, Mary Kay.
I did that for a while. Not Mary Kay, but I did some MLM. That was my taste into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so everybody's trying to dip into that to get a taste of it, to try to figure out different ways where they can stay home and provide for their families at the same time, right? It was after I had lost my last corporate job that I was just feeling so defeated. And naturally, I'm taking it internally, something is wrong with me. Why can't I find a place where I belong, where I really fit? I'm working my butt off. I'm super smart. You know what I mean? I'm bringing all these things to the table. I'm killing it in every challenge thrown my way at work. But when it comes to motherhood and it comes to taking care of my kids first, it's like I literally had an employer at one time, and I'm not going to name who they are, but my kid was in the hospital.
Yeah.
My daughter was in the hospital, and she was there for about 2 weeks. And she literally told me I still have to come to work, that I need to put on Facebook or social media somebody to come sit with my daughter if I was that worried about it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? She's like, yeah, because your obligation is here at work. And I'm like, and I knew her on a personal level outside of work. So to hear that
hurt even more.
I said a lot of really ugly words that I will never repeat here. But you know, like that's just kind of the mentality behind it. And for me, that's so unacceptable. And now that I have like my business, I would never ask that of somebody.
Some of the greatest lessons I've learned about being a good leader came from the poor bosses I had, where I just took note and I'm like, in the back of my mind, I always knew I was going to be a business owner and I always just said, yep, I'm not going to do that. Nope, I'm not going to talk to people like that. Nope, I'm not going to treat people that way.
Like, what is your biggest takeaway? What was the biggest thing for you?
In terms of like having a bad boss? It was really, I think it was the communication piece. Like, one, I try to be, first you have to learn everybody's language on your team. So like some people are going to respond to a raise. Some people are just going to respond to kind words of affirmation. Some people respond to you giving them more responsibility. So I think that was one of the first lessons I took away was like, I'd see how he kind of treated everybody exactly the same. And in my role, I couldn't even do that as his subordinate. Like I couldn't operate with these people and talk the same way across the board. I had to change it up for everybody I was dealing with. So that was one big thing that stuck out to me. But some of the stuff that you're talking about in terms of like, I could see it in my staffs, which I don't know why they do this. I get that like I'm the CEO and I'm sitting behind the big chair. So there's a certain fear sometimes when they may come and ask me or something. They're like, hey, like one of my staff today, he's like, hey man, like, is it possible? Like, you know, I got all this stuff done and like, but I got to pick my girl up tonight and this is the only time I'm gonna have to get a Valentine's Day gift. Like, can I roll out here at 3? I'm like,
absolutely.
Dude, I don't give a shit.
Go.
Like you're killing it, dude.
Go.
Like, yeah. But it's like little stuff like that. Like I had to like plead with my boss. Like, can I please do this? Can I please do that? And understanding that, number one, corporate America has changed big time, but I'm not dumb enough to think that everyone that works here, their life revolves around this. Like, I'm the only one that has to live, eat, and breathe this nonstop. Like, when they clock out, they get to clock out. But luckily, I have a team where they're still in communication. They're having thoughts, and they're like, yeah, I love this. This is the best team I've ever put together, which I think has made all the difference in terms of growth. But, yeah, I took more away from the bad bosses than I did the good ones. But some of the good ones, it was more of the good mentors I had along the way that probably, like, helped sculpt me into what I wanted to be. But yeah, those like you can get lessons from anybody, the good, the bad, the ugly, like, but I fully believe you get more lessons from the bad ones than you do the good ones.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've had plenty of bad lessons and I'm like, I never want to be you. I'm just going to pray for you.
Now, looking into transitioning into entrepreneurship, talk to us about, was it a leap of faith for you? Because it seems like this piece of your story, it's like you stated, I'm just trying to find somewhere where I fit in. Did it get to the point for you where you're like, you know, I just can't fit in this box and now I'm a mother and they're wanting me to do X, Y, and Z? Was it a big leap of faith for you to go into business for yourself? Or was it like, no, this is just a natural transition for me?
A little bit of both. Like I knew that my calling was something bigger and better than what I was doing. I had known for years that like I'm not living my purpose, and it's so depressing when you're stuck in that rut, and you know what I mean? Like it's so easy to just go through the motions of, you know, just going to the bar on the weekends or, you know, living a completely unfulfilling life because you're not checking off that box inside of you that's really going to light you up. Like to find your purpose, to fulfill that destiny. And so when, yes, it was a leap of faith, you know, but at the same time, I knew that it was the right decision. I knew that I was right where I was supposed to be. And of course, faith more than anything, God would not have opened that door for me if it wasn't where I was supposed to be.
Talk about how, because like when I became an entrepreneur, I was still single, had met my wife, didn't have kids, none of that. So it's just like, dude, I can live in a cardboard box and eat Little Caesars pizza all day long. So like, especially as a guy, guys can live on like the absolute bare. The only reason we have homes or nice cars is because we're trying to attract y'all. If it was just men on this earth, we'd all be still running around in buggies and stuff like that. But looking at that, for me, that transition wasn't a massive leap because it was like, all right, I got a car payment of $200 a month and I'm paying, $600 a month in rent. So like I only needed like $1,000 a month like to live. So $12,000 a year, like I'm straight. So it wasn't as big of a shift for me. It was still extremely scary, trust me. But having a child to take care of and looking to fulfill that passion, which to that extent too, like that passion piece, to me, there's nothing more fulfilling than finding your purpose on this earth. Like and I've shared this story before on the podcast, but like when I met my wife, our first date was a blind date. And we had our date and meal. Like we were messaging on Facebook and stuff, stuff like that. But like we had never seen each other in person. We're finishing up the date. I'm paying the tab, and I turned around and I said, "Look, really enjoyed meeting you. I think it's great. Love to take you out again. But I need to tell you what this looks like. First and foremost, I'm an entrepreneur. At some point, I want to be a husband. I want to be a father. But I know my purpose on this earth is in the entrepreneurial space. I'm here to add value to others and build some great things. So if you're the type of woman that needs a man by her side 24/7 and you can't deal with this, hope you enjoyed your meal. It was a pleasure meeting you. But if you think you can ride with that, I'd love to take you out again." And she said, "Yeah, no, I'll go out with you again." So from the very beginning, I set the stage of like, this is my purpose. And a big part of her purpose and the reason we ended up taking things further was because I'd written a list of like the ideal things I wanted in a mate when I was like 20 years old. And once you get past the superficial things in terms of like how you want them to look and things like that, but it's like to the core, who do you want this person to be? Two things, like that list taught me the person I needed to be to attract that type of person. It's like you dating someone.
Who thinks of that at 20 years old?
I had great mentors.
I didn't, but you did.
I had great mentors. But it's like you can't expect to attract a non-smoker. You're like, I don't want to date somebody who smokes, but you're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Like you can't, so you have to be a certain person in order to attract those certain qualities.
That is so true.
And for her, like being a stay-at-home mom was like one of her life goals. She's like, this is part of my purpose. Like I want to be.
For her.
So I'm like, okay, I found a woman that I can go out and build businesses. I can conquer the world, and she's going to hold it down at home. And like, this is something that she's going to be happy in. So I knew immediately that was a big check mark for me. I couldn't be with somebody unless she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
So for you, like making that leap, having that child, what was that transition like for you? Because it has to be scary knowing that I could have lived off $1,000 a month. You have to feed someone else.
Oh, absolutely. And so at that time, luckily, the man, I was going through a divorce, right? Like I had been separated for a couple years or been divorced for a couple years. Yeah. The man that I had started seeing and dating, we were serious at that point, and he was such a great supporter. Like he was my rock and my total backbone. And, he was there for me every time I fell, every time like I would lose a job or, you know what I mean? He's like, as frustrated as he was, not going to lie, because he is very much like you show up, like he's very dedicated in his corporate world. Yeah. But he understood what I was going through, and he was just there to support. So luckily I did not have to worry about, well, can I make my rent this month? Yeah. Or you know what I mean? Like he was my backbone and my complete rock. Nice. And the weekends were hard because that's when most of my weddings and events were. So he's like, well, what? I'm stuck with the kids. Yeah. And I'm like, yep, because you're working all week and now it's my turn to work. So we're just kind of taking turns with that aspect. But it was scary because I've always struggled with this feeling, or I don't even really know the right words, with having to be able to provide for my family, how to contribute. And if I'm not contributing as a woman, then I feel worthless. No. And even as a mom, like it's just something that I'm overcoming still to this day. Like if I can't pay this, or if I can't do like something extravagant, because of course my love language is gift giving and like financial stuff. If I can't do that, then I'm not really feeling like much of a woman, right? So through overcoming all of that and through overcoming his support, like, yes, it was that leap of faith, but the transition, even with motherhood, I was able to be with my kids, and I'm just really grateful.
Yeah. What's been that first, talk to us about the first year starting your business, because I tell people all the time, if you start a business and you're not, it seems rough to hear, but like, if you're not willing to be unpaid or underpaid for at least 3 years, don't even bother getting started. Because everybody has this thought process, like you open up an LLC and all of a sudden you're balling. No, that is not the case whatsoever.
Not at all.
So talk to us about that first year. Like, how did you ramp up sales? How did you attract new clients? How did you start building the brand?
So I just really dug deep and like figured out, I wrote down my goals first and foremost, and I wrote down every step of the things that I needed to do to fully like run a legal business, right? Especially in the beauty industry, it's very easy to do everything like sidebar or under the table, which, I mean, yeah, you can do it and that's great, but you better pray that you don't get caught, right? So I knew that if I'm going to do this, I'm actually going to do this right. So I'm setting up my business license. I'm setting up my accounts. I'm setting up like all of the licensures and everything that I need. Luckily, in the state of Virginia, we don't need a like a cosmetology license or any kind of actual licensure to do makeup artistry. Now, if I'm cutting or coloring hair, then yes, you have to have a cosmetology license. But for makeup artistry, which was how I started, you don't need that. And you can do hairstyling too. I literally thought about all the different ways that I can brand myself. How can I brand myself? How can I market myself? I had already had a little bit of experience from doing like Unique and Mary Kay from that MLM. So I was using social media and free platforms like as my base, as my platform to get my word out for what I can do and offering services. I had tapped into some different networks for social media pages. Like this is a whole like course for stuff that I teach for all of like the beginning makeup artists for how to begin. Like where do you even start this foundation, right? Like how do you even grow? Like who should you talk to? How do I get in rooms with this person? And it's literally like a whole thing. But that was exactly how I started. I didn't make millions, but luckily, like I'm very blessed to have been able to take off the way that I did. Where the first 2 to 3 years of business, I mean, I was booming. Absolutely booming. And it literally, once word got out, and back then, it's the word of mouth. Like you have your referrals, right? And I mean, I had people calling me left and right for, hey, I'm getting married here, or hey, I have this event here, and I'm rocking and rolling it. Sometimes I would take my kids with me. And I'm like, if you know me, you know that my kids come first. And, you know, I mean, I've got the baby with me today. Now. So
and I think I saw a recent post of you. You were doing someone's hair and makeup, and you had the baby in your arm, and you're still knocking it out. Yes,
absolutely. I mean, I am all about showing my kids the hard work that is a part of what we do and how I try to teach my kids how to think outside of the box too. Like I know this is a total tangent, but I want them to see the work that it is to be able to work for yourself. I want them to see what they are capable of and that they can do it. If I can do it, they can do it too, you know? So yes, I do have my kids with me all the time. That's just how it is.
Talk to us about the struggle. Well, actually, two things. One, I think, and I've always been a service-based entrepreneur. Like I think at this point I've had 9 or 10 companies, but everything has been service-based. I've never launched a product or coded some software, made an app or anything like that. I feel like the barrier to entry to service-based businesses is much easier than going into something with a product and need investments and all that other kind of stuff. So for those who are listening that want to get in this space, what does it typically cost just to get things off the ground? Is it literally just you have your makeup kit, may cost you I don't know anything about makeup or hair, $500 or something like that, and then you can go off and start booking clients? Like, what does it look like getting started?
Yeah. Absolutely. So you do start with your kit. Like that's all you really need. And it can be as expensive or as cheap as you want. I started my kit with what I could afford, which was literally like elf products when makeup brushes were $1 a piece. You know, like I started off with they were great products, and like truly as an artist, you can work with any product and make it work, right?
You give me a $50 point and shoot camera, I can still make magic.
Exactly. Like I'm ordering a makeup kit off of Amazon, and that was I think $100 or
Nice.
$80 or something. So it's your foundation. You literally start off with just the bare necessities of what you need to build, and then from there, hey, you're getting paid for this, so you set aside X amount for your business, and then you pay yourself from there.
Yeah.
And then you take that, whatever you're paying yourself, and you can spend it on products, or you can use your business money and spend it on products that way too.
Talk about the demographic for your client base in terms of, so right now I was talking to my sales guy the other day. I have a hard focus on going after like medical professionals. To me, that is like recession-proof clients. Like if your tooth hurts, I don't care if your brokerage account is up or down, you're going to the dentist to get your tooth fixed. For you, and then like med spas are like a big focus of mine right now, trying to acquire and work with some medical spas. It seems from an outsider's perspective, and this is coming from a man, not a woman, despite what is going on economically, women always going to make sure they look good. They're going to get their hair done and nails done, makeup right, all that. Talk to us about working with that demographic. Like obviously, from 2008 to now, we've seen a lot of economic up and downs. Have you seen like major speed bumps in your industry? Like I can, like when COVID came, my business almost came to a complete stop. And thank God for the PPP loan, because I don't think I'd be sitting here today if that didn't come through. But I had to get creative. Like I started messaging all of our clients. I went in the studio. I made a video. I'm like, look, guys, here's what we're going to do. Your content can't stop because of COVID. People are at home now more than ever, and all they're doing is being on social media. So if there's any time for you to start making content, it's now. I can't be in front of you. Here's what we're going to do. And I literally went through, made like a 15-minute how-to video on here's how I need you to film on your iPhone. Here are the settings I need you to select, da-da-da-da. I set up Google Drives for everybody. I had them sending us the footage, and then we would edit it, do our thing. So I had all my editors working at different homes and things like that. But COVID caused a hard pivot for me. But that was the only time since I've been in business that there was like this drastic, steep decline. For you, do you ever see that, or are women just always spending money to look right?
Well, okay, so there's two different answers to that for sure. So yes, COVID did impact a lot of the industry, especially because I specialize in bridal, right?
Yeah.
So then you have venues that are like, nope, like everybody has to be 6 feet apart, or we're not even hosting any weddings right now. So then I had so many brides that had to reschedule, or
and then you couldn't use makeup that you would use on somebody else because the brushes are touched and all that other kind of stuff.
Oh, well, I'm super big about sanitation anyway.
Yeah.
And that's like huge industry standard. And if you're not following it, then you don't need to be here. Or I can teach you like all the right things to do. So no, there's definitely some health standards that are in the beauty industry anyway that I am very strict about. But we had a lot of brides that would just turn it into a backyard wedding, and we're like, F that.
Yep.
We're getting married, and we would still make it happen. So I could say that, like, yes, it dropped off in a lot of ways, but no, we found ways around it, which...
sometimes probably willing to pay you more during that time because it might have been harder to get other people in your space.
Oh, there was definitely a few cases, yeah, absolutely, where, they're afraid of wearing a mask, or they're afraid of, all the different health things. And I'm over here like, saddle up, let's go. Like, we're going to make this happen for you. Like, I will go above and beyond for my clients easily.
Yep.
There's not much that I'm afraid of. And everybody kind of has their opinions about the whole COVID stuff anyway. And I was just ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
I was actually still doing it as a side hustle at that point too. But during that time was where I really had more weddings in my career. Like, I was rocking 52 to 56 weddings and events a year.
Oh, wow. And then, especially in the wedding industry, I've found, at least been in my experience, I still want to market everything hard that I do. I didn't have to. That was probably one of the services I had to market the least because it was just like from every wedding we got booked for something else. Like a bridesmaid it this way, because there's going to be a single girl up there like when her best friend's getting married, and then it's going to be her turn next. And she's like, yo, who's the videographer that you used for your wedding? I loved your video.
Yes.
And they don't even question it. They're just like, you're good enough for my girl. You're good enough for me.
Exactly.
What's the cost? So for you, like expanding the brand, has it been more of that? Like the referrals in the wedding space are just so heavy that you don't have to invest but so much in the marketing space? Or are you seeing a turn where there's so many people coming into your space that like now in order to get ahead, you do have to make sure that you're getting yourself out there more?
So a little bit of both. I have a ton of, I call them like the OGs. They're my original clients from the first couple years where I didn't have much to offer. I didn't have a whole lot of referrals, but they still trusted me like with their beauty regimen, right? And making them feel great. So my OGs, they're still reaching out, or, I have people that were, hey, I was in so-and-so's wedding, exactly like you were saying.
Yeah.
I need a makeup artist and a hairstylist. I got you, girl. Say less, I'll be there. I've got 3 weddings this year, actually, from brides that got married years ago, which I'm super excited about. But
Nice.
Yeah, you've got your OGs and the referrals and stuff that way. But as far as building a brand, because the industry is starting to get, what's the
Crowded?
word I'm looking for? It's getting a little crowded. Like everybody, but I don't say it in a bad way because, these girls are waking up. They're like, hey, I am great at this and let me fulfill my passion. Let me actually do something about it. And I love that. I encourage it so much. It's getting a little dense, right?
Yeah.
So to stand out, you have to start posting more on social media, which that's something I've started doing over the past year because I wasn't really great about it before. But you want to make yourself stand out on social marketing or digitally, so to speak, which is another thing that I'm starting to offer as well, is like all these digital courses and digital classes for, you've got your makeup classes, where I would host in-person classes, which I still do.
Yeah.
Now we're hosting digital master classes as well. So you don't have to leave your home. You can just, hey, here's my tutorial that I get to hold on to forever. That shows me all the products and the insider tips and tricks. And then hey, I really want to start my beauty brand. Where do I even begin? Hey, Artistry by Kay is offering that class.
What inspired you to do that, to start offering courses?
So I didn't even realize that digital courses were a thing up until like probably about a year and a half ago. And I started to see, as I'm scrolling, figuring out different ways to try to grow my brand. Like I'm thinking of all these different things that I want to incorporate to make Artistry by Kay bigger, right? And then I'm seeing people start doing that. And I was like, I want to do that. I've got so much knowledge about the industry. And I've got so many great networks. Like, yeah, let me put that stuff together. Let me help figure out different ways to inspire other artists too.
Yeah. And biggest thing I've seen from you so far in the short time that we've known each other is you seek out the knowledge. You seek out the education. So like, I think when we first connected, you were telling me you were at some event or a conference or something like that. And it's like the top women in these spaces, you were able to get some one-on-one time with. So talk about how important it is, not only just in this space, but as an entrepreneur, to make sure that you're constantly putting yourself in the right rooms, that you're expanding your knowledge in the space.
Absolutely. So first, you have to understand that you can be so smart and you can really know your ish, right? Like you can know it, but there's always going to be somebody smarter than you. Yeah. There's always going to be somebody better than you. And the goal is to try to put yourself in these rooms of people who are doing better than you, right? Because that's really where you're going to learn everything that you want to learn that you didn't even know that you needed to learn. So yeah, I was just in LA with some fantastic women, leaders in the beauty industry. the owner of Urban Decay, Jamie Kern-Lima. She is the first self-made woman billionaire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she is phenomenal, and I absolutely love her to death. And, of course, I sent her a message after the summit, and she messaged me back. And even being in the same room as her, like, just put chills, like, all over my body.
Yeah.
But I was so excited to even see, like, on my Instagram, you got a message. And it was actually her, not like a bot, right?
Yep.
And I was like, oh, my God, she messaged me back, right? The founder of Mint Body, Victoria, is, like, the sweetest person you could ever meet in your life. And so I'm sitting there talking to her, which I'm super excited about. Tangent here, because there was a big giveaway for a Pilates reformer machine, and she messaged me. Of course, I like entered the giveaway, and, and I just won it. So
oh, snap!
She messaged me yesterday, and or the day before, and she's like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know, like, you won." And I was like, "Yes, I'm so excited."
Sweet.
You know, but talking to these women that are founding these great companies, again, the owner of Kosas, the owner of Lawless, like all these products, Callie Ray, the owners and the founders of these companies, and it's products that I have in my kit. Like I never knew that these were those women, you know? So the fact that I'm in the room with them and I'm talking to them and I'm having these conversations, celebrity hairstylists, celebrity makeup artists, we're networking, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to send business your way, or you're on the East Coast, instead of me traveling, I'll just have you go work for them. I'm like, you got it. Absolutely. You always want to seek out the education. You want to pay to go to that class. You want to pay to go to that summit. You want to pay to invest in yourself. And of course, all of it is a business write-off anyway.
Yep.
You know? So why not? Why not? Because you're going to be in front of people that you want to network with. There's a big Ulta Beauty show coming up in Florida. I highly encourage all aspiring beauty artists and people in the industry, go to that.
No.
Meet these people. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there either. Like, you can think that you are just this tiny little person, and you're in this little box. Oh, I'm just a small town makeup artist, or I'm just a small town hairstylist, and there's 50,000 hair salons in my town. So, who am I? No, you are you, and you're going to do something that these other people aren't doing. And even if you have like the same business idea, there's something that you have that this other person doesn't. So it's like, do it. Put yourself out there. Invest in yourself. And that's just it in a nutshell.
Yeah, you got to pay to be in the right rooms. Like,
you do.
That's one of those things where I'm like, man, I'm an idiot. Why did it take me so long to understand? Like, because I'd look at I want to go to this conference. $200? I ain't paying $200 to go hear somebody talk,
Right.
But, like, one thing I've learned, like, going to the certain conferences, it ain't about who's on stage. It's about who's in the crowd, the networking that I'm going to do there. Like, the business you can do, because now I know, hey, everybody in this room is trying to better themselves.
Exactly.
So I know these are like-minded people that I want to connect with. And like you said, like, you meet somebody there on the West Coast, they got a client on the East Coast, and they're like, well, hey, I'm not going to spend $3,000 traveling over here. Like, I'll just get you to do it.
Exactly. I have never felt more like I was supposed to be somewhere than when I was in that room in LA.
That's it.
I was like, these are my people. All of these women have the exact same mentality as I do. Like,
that was that fit that you were looking for your whole life.
Yes. Like, that was that placement that I felt like I've needed, the longing that I have been searching for. And I was there with these women. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be on that stage next year.
Nope, there you go.
Watch me. I'm looking at all of these women on stage, and I'm like, I just want to do her makeup. Or I just want to do her hair, which I'm sending out emails still, like reaching out to all of them. The ladies of Good Day LA, they mentioned me on their news show.
Oh, nice.
It was the next morning after they were on the stage for where I was at, and like they had talked a little bit about the single mom thing, and I was like, and of course me, I'm that person in church, or I'm that person that's out there. I'm like, yes, Lord, like I'm vocal sometimes, in agreement with what is being said. And so they were talking about being a single mom, and I was like, yes. They were like, look, there's one right there. They said, email us. Like, make sure you email us. And I'm emailing them so we can make these connections, because you meet these people that literally genuinely want to lift you up and that have the same heart as you do. Like, I don't care what industry you're in, right? For me, it's the beauty industry. For you, it's media. Like, you want to see other people succeed.
1,000%.
Right? Like, It's the love for the industry as a whole and understanding the beauty of the industry that you're in. You want that to stay elevated.
Yep.
You want that to stay lifted. We don't want the ugly. We don't want the cattiness. We don't want the competition because there is no competition. Like, everybody is bringing something phenomenal to the table to service the client.
That's it.
You know?
So with all the, I want to give hope to some of the single moms out there that want to be boss babes too. How the community that you've put around you, because you have 3 kids.
Mm-hmm. I do.
You're talking about conferences in Florida and Vegas and all these different things. How are you able to travel and still be mom and still run a company? Like, talk to us about your setup, how you're able to do this.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And I'm not going to say that it's easy by any means because doing something like this, it's not for the faint of heart. It can be easily overwhelming. It's definitely emotional, right? Just having to leave your babies.
That's the easy part as a dad. We don't have that, Gene.
Yeah, y'all like,
I'm like,
let
peace. See ya.
Vacation. We're going to the bar and the hotel. You know, you have all this opportunity, right? It's right at your fingertips, but building that support system is the biggest key. I really don't have that much of a support system. I'm not going to lie. My mom's in South Carolina, so for me to make this trip to LA, I pretty much had to twist her arm and not really give her an option to come up so she could stay with my kids for a couple of days. I mean, I had clients lined up in LA to pay for my trip, right? Luckily, being that it's a service that I can provide, I had services lined up there. And so I was like, I can't not go.
Yeah.
And literally this trip, nobody really knows, but it was down to like the wire of I wasn't going to be able to go because I didn't have anybody to keep my kids. And I was calling everybody I could think of, that I was friends with, that I would actually trust my kids with, and nobody could do it. Nobody was willing. And I know for me, my heart, if I had somebody call me, whether we're super close or not, she's like, hey, I've got this work trip and I really need somebody to keep my kids. I'm going to be the first person to be like, I got you, girl.
Yeah.
Bring them here. They're safe. They'll be well taken care of. We're going to have the best time. But that's not always reciprocated, right? So trying to figure out your support system is critical. But I can definitely say that even when you barely have one, it's still possible.
Yeah. It's good insight. I'm going to send you a report. I sent this to my mother-in-law. It says that grandparents who spend X amount of time with their kids end up living like 20% longer or something like that. So anytime because my
you
mother,
hear that, Mom?
Yeah,
you hear that?
my in-laws live in Charlottesville and my mom lives in Lynchburg. So like we don't have we can't just go out on a Friday night and be like, hey, Mom, come over and watch the kids.
Yeah,
like,
I don't have that either.
We have to set that up. So I've been able to coax the grandparents a couple times. Be like, hey, now I read this report. Like, if you guys trying to kick around here a little bit longer, more time you give your grandkids, the longer you end up living. So
exactly. I knew. She was so upset though, because she's got puppies or dogs back home in South Carolina. So she had to line up a puppy sitter, and I know that it was a lot of coordination for her too, which I'm super grateful that she was able to make that happen. But I was thinking when I left and I was on the flight to LA, I knew. I'm like, so this is kind of my way of making this happen for her too, because I know that it's core memories that are going to be instilled with her and my kids forever.
Oh, for sure. Like when I randomly I text my, iPhones will show you memory photos and stuff like that on your widgets. And it was a photo of my mother-in-law and our daughter when she was 2 years old, and our daughter had fallen asleep in the bed with her, and they were just knocked out, and either me or my wife took a picture. And that was years ago, but then I randomly texted to her, and she's like, oh my God. It's those are the,
don't post that, but thank you for getting that picture.
That's me as a salesman, just leaving little crumbs hey, you want to keep making more memories like this? So she's actually coming in town to watch the kids so me and my wife can go out for Valentine's Day this year.
Y'all deserve it.
Yeah, I'm one of those people though, if I wasn't married, I'd probably never take a vacation.
Really?
I just love the game so much. It gets to a certain point. Don't get me wrong. I do really like money, but that's almost the bonus to it. Sitting in front of someone who, number one, didn't even know they needed me or my services.
Yes.
And then by the time I get up from the table, they can't see themselves moving forward without my team involved. To me, that's the game.
Exactly.
It's just like out in the dating world, like, guys be like, man, you ain't never gonna pull that. Watch me, dog. Like, just the challenge of it is just
Yeah.
like, so it's like, how big can I go? Like, I want to get this client, I want to get that client. And it's not, this means I'm going to be able to pay myself X amount. It's like, no, it's the game. Like, just like to compete. But yeah, my wife didn't stop me. Like, and my ideal vacation, which is not hers, my ideal vacation is you always got to have some business and pleasure. Because I'm like, one time I got hired, this maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. I got flown down to Turks and Caicos from the Keller Williams branch there. They needed somebody to come in and train on social media. And I had done a social media training here for Keller Williams. And then I thought it was a prank call at first. It was like, hey, this is Keller Williams at Turks and Caicos. We want to hire you to come down. And I'm like, all right. Like,
Okay,
I was
is this
like,
legit?
yeah. But I was like, I need this, and here's my fee. And they were like, all right, done. When can you get down here? And I was like,
Perfect.
bruh. So for me to go into a room, flap my gums for 3-4 hours, and then I get the next 2 days to do whatever I want, that's the ideal vacation to me.
Oh, absolutely.
But just like I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, remember, you married a black dude. I'm not going to sit out on the beach with y'all for 5 hours, coming back looking like Wesley Snipes at the end of my vacation. Y'all go do that. Like, I'm going to go golf. I'm going to go inside and work for a little bit. Y'all have fun. Mm-hmm. And to me, like, that's like the father in me. It's just like, as long as my people are good and I see them having fun, like, I'm happy. That's all most men need, is just like, if y'all good, I'm good. Like, that's all we need.
Absolutely.
Where does this brand go for you? What does this look like? Do you want a big team? Do you want to be national, international? Like, what's the vision for you moving forward?
Man, the vision is endless and ever changing. Because like you were saying, like when you just truly love what you do, the money is like you're not really thinking about it, right? Like that's just the bonus.
Yeah.
Of course, to build a brand and to build a business, you
Need
have
cash
to incorporate
flow.
that, and you do have to think about that, right? But
Mr. Wonderful
for me,
says cash flow.
I definitely want to become global, and I've been globally recognized by like the products that I use.
Yeah, you've done some stuff with celebrities and different things like that before.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, and even
pause right there, because that's gonna be a nugget. How did you get some? Like, I don't even know who it is, but like, how did you get someone at that level to be able to do any work with them?
It really just kind of fell into my lap. And you don't ever say no to something like that. And not even understanding, like, how big it was. Like, I was just as surprised when it happened. And it was like, oh, sugar, honey, iced tea. That's my acronym, if you put that together yet.
We can cuss on this podcast. Though,
oh, okay. So I'm like, oh, shit. Like, this is real. Like, this is really happening, right?
Yeah.
And I've been, around a lot of celebrities. So I don't really get a whole lot of the... what do you call it, like fangirl status, like they're everyday people just like us. But just something of that magnitude and that capacity, being able to see my work and to see that happen, like it's just such an honor. Like for me, I just feel blessed. I feel so grateful that opportunity presented itself. And of course, there's like NDAs that you sign, of course, like things that you can't really talk about, which is totally fine. But believe me, the second that I can talk about these things and name drop, I will definitely do so.
That's going to be the first book.
Maybe. I think that would be a great first book.
Love it. Here's the last question I like to ask every guest on this podcast. What was your hardest moment since becoming an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome that?
The hardest moment for me was the fork in the road that I had trying to grow my team and build. And it was...
Building a team is so hard.
It is so hard, but I had to figure out who can I trust with my level of work and level of artistry. Like, I'm bougie as hell, right? So I know what I expect in a service, and it's top tier, right? And I make sure that I don't give anything less than that into my clients. Hence the luxury beauty part, because it's literally above and beyond.
Yeah.
But finding somebody that is able to hold that near and dear to their heart the way that I did, was the biggest struggle for me. And I actually stepped away from the industry altogether for a couple years because, again, I was doing it as a side hustle, and I was in corporate world. I'm industrial construction, actually, believe it or not. And I was given an ultimatum by that company. Hey, like, we want to promote you, but you have to be readily available 24/7. Like, you can't do your side hustle anymore.
Yeah.
And
They
I
basically said, how much is your dream going to cost us?
well, that's exactly what I said. I was like, look, I'm making this amount of money every year, and this is the food on my family's table, and you're either going to compensate me for that, like you're going to cover that expense to where I don't have to worry about it for the next year.
Yeah.
And they did. They did. They added that to my salary. So I was like, okay. So for me, the hardest part is building that team. And
were you hoping they called your bluff and be like, "We'll just get out of here," and then you'd have been forced to start your business?
Well,
or was
no,
that the ideal situation?
I was fine, like, where I was at in the company and, being able to do my part-time gig. Well, I say part-time gig, it was just on the weekends, but it literally consumed my evenings and stuff too. But it was a really nice break, too, like being able to step away, and I'm enjoying weekends with my kids that are very active in sports. So, I'm not sitting in my truck at the baseball field, like working on my computer, just watching a couple plays as I'm looking down at my computer. I'm actually like engaged in what my son is doing. And, I was watching my daughter on the wrestling mat, which she is crushing it in wrestling.
Nice.
And she was cheerleading and dancing and stuff too. So I'm able to actually enjoy those moments with them instead of that weight of I've got to meet this goal and I've got to do this, like with my regular job, everyday job, on top of being able to meet the demands of my clients as well. Awesome.
This has been a phenomenal conversation. I think you're going to give a lot of hope, inspiration, to some women that ain't just in your situation, where I think a lot of times we just need to see that one person in front of us that looks like us, that is in a similar situation, to be able to say, all right, if she went out and did it, I can do it.
Absolutely. And I absolutely love the industry so much that I want to help. I want to see other artists grow. I want to see people find their passion. And, I want to create the option for moms to be able to stay at home. Like, I'm literally covering all of it for everybody.
Yeah.
Between the digital products of showing how to, between growing my team. Like, if you want to be a part of Artistry by Kay, let me know, and I would love to see your work and get you on board with us. But even teaching like digital and affiliate marketing, like learning that whole aspect of things. I'm selling a course for people to do, so that way, these people can either, pay a grocery bill or pay off like make their car payment every month, or just retire themselves and their husbands, or their husbands and their wives. It's endless financial opportunity, and I just love to see people win.
Love that.
Yep.
If people want to find you, they want to book your services, they want to talk to you, they're starting a business, how can people get in touch with you?
On my socials, it's Artistry by Kay on Instagram and on Facebook, and then I can send you my booking link from there if you're interested in any services.
Beautiful. Love it. Well, my wife's excited about,
I cannot wait to meet her, by the way.
You do spray tanning and things like that. So she told me she definitely wants that. And I only have one female on my staff here, but like she's definitely been talking about getting her hair done with you. So
definitely, and we've got some really great big announcements coming too in the spray tan world. So, the spray tan company, I've joined the corporate department with them. So now I am the brand rep in the state of Virginia for Dolce Glow, which I'm super excited about, and an affiliate with their program. So that is more than a spray tan, of course, but. Definitely anybody aspiring to start their own business in that capacity, I would gladly help.
And you guys may see a little uptick in her social media. She may be coming on to the Enzo team, getting some stuff done. Here's an idea I had for a spray tan. We'll end on this.
Okay.
I've always thought this is the most genius commercial I've ever come up with. You have a guy go in, like you set him up, like get the spray tan, whatever. Cool. Mm-hmm.
Which more guys spray tan than you would think.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that, but like I've learned that. But when he comes out, it was a white dude going in. And when he comes out, I'm the one that's on camera. It's like, man, that was the best spray tan of my life. To me, that's the most genius video. And I never see anything like that when it comes to spray tan. So If you're down to clown, we'll make that video.
We will make that video. But literally, it's so funny that you say that because, like, some of the solutions that I use, which they're totally customized to every person, right? So there's like olive and violet. And so I will have white girls going in, and when they come out, I'm like, just brace yourself because you're going to be a completely different race for a few
Mexican
hours
when they come
while
out.
you're marinating. And they come out, and they're like, whoa, like, I'm black. Like, I told you, you're going to be a different race for a few hours.
Dude, oh my God,
while
I'm getting so many.
We have to do this video.
I'm getting so many ideas. Like, even on the girl side, I may get you canceled with the way my imagination's going. But like, I see a white girl coming out, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm black," and then immediately we have her going to eat at Mama J's. She's eating ribs and fried chicken. Then she's at like a hip hop concert, and she's like in the front row. Like,
that would be so fun.
Want to be black for a day? Here's where you go. Sweet, I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.